Imagine this. You're the helpful one in your circle. When someone needs help, they call you. When a friend is stressed, you listen for hours. When a coworker forgets something important, you quietly fix the problem so no one gets blamed. You try to be kind, you try to be understanding, and you try to make life easier for everyone around you. But something strange starts to happen. People begin expecting more from you. They interrupt your time. They assume you will always say yes. And sometimes the same people who benefit from your kindness don't seem to respect you very much. Yet there is another person you know who behaves differently. They're still polite and friendly, but they say no when something doesn't feel right. They protect their time, they don't always respond immediately, and they don't try to please everyone. And strangely enough, people seem to respect them more. Why does this happen? Why does kindness sometimes invite pressure while kindness invites respect? My name is Olivia, and I spend way too much time thinking about human behavior and the hidden psychological forces shaping our lives. Today, we're going to explore a surprising truth about human psychology. People often respect boundaries more than kindness. Not because kindness is weak, but because the human mind reads signals in ways we rarely notice. Think about it this way. Imagine two houses on the same street. The first house has no fence at all. Anyone can walk across the yard, kids cut through it as a shortcut, neighbors let their dogs run through the grass, and no one really thinks twice about it. Now imagine the second house. It has a simple fence and a small gate. Nothing aggressive, nothing hostile, just a quiet signal that says this space matters. People don't walk through that yard, not because the owner is mean, but because the boundary communicates value. And human beings naturally respond to signals of value. Kindness without boundaries can sometimes send the wrong signal. When someone always says yes, always adjusts, and always sacrifices their own needs, the people around them slowly learn something. Not consciously, but psychologically. They learn that this person will adapt. Once that pattern forms, the requests slowly grow larger. It usually doesn't start with something big. It starts small. A simple favor, a quick request, a little extra help. Each time the answer is yes, the mind quietly learns where the limits are. If no limits are ever shown, people naturally keep expanding into that space. This doesn't mean people are bad or manipulative. Most of the time, they are simply responding to human patterns. Human beings naturally test limits. You can see this clearly in children. A child might ask for candy before dinner. If the answer is always yes, the child learns something. If the answer is sometimes no, the child learns something else. The boundary becomes part of the relationship. Adults are not very different. Boundaries help people understand where another person's space begins and where they must stop. Without that signal, relationships slowly become unbalanced. Another important reason boundaries create respect has to do with how we see ourselves. People constantly try to understand their own value in the world, and one way they do this is by observing their own behavior. If someone repeatedly sacrifices their needs for others, their mind may slowly form an uncomfortable belief that their needs matter less. And surprisingly, other people often sense this belief without it ever being spoken, not through words, but through small behaviors, tone of voice, hesitation, constantly apologizing or explaining yourself too much. These subtle signals communicate how much you value your own time and energy. When someone calmly protects their limits, they send a very different message. They communicate something powerful without needing to say it directly. They show that their time has value, their energy has limits, and their life has structure. When someone truly believes this about themselves, others often start believing it too. Many people misunderstand boundaries and think they are a form of rejection. They worry that saying no will make them seem selfish or unfriendly. But healthy boundaries are not about pushing people away. They are about creating clarity. Think about traffic lights. When the light turns red, drivers stop. Not because the light is rude, but because the rule creates order. Without that simple boundary, traffic would become chaos instantly. Boundaries work the same way in relationships. They organize expectations, prevent resentment, and protect emotional energy. Interestingly, boundaries often make kindness more meaningful. Kindness that comes from pressure is not real kindness, it's obligation. The human mind can feel that difference. When you help someone because you truly choose to, there is warmth and sincerity in the action. But when you help because you feel trapped or guilty, there is tension under the surface. Boundaries remove that tension. They make every act of kindness a genuine choice, and genuine choices carry a different kind of energy that people can sense immediately. So, if you have ever felt like your kindness is taken for granted, it may not mean people don't appreciate you. It may simply mean the signals around your personal space are unclear. Kindness is powerful, but kindness without limits can slowly erase the shape of your identity. Boundaries restore that shape. They remind both you and the people around you where you stand. And here's the quiet psychological truth many people eventually discover. Respect does not grow from how much you give away. Respect grows from how clearly you understand your own value. Because when you respect your own limits, you quietly teach others how to respect them too. So now I'm curious, have you ever experienced a moment where being too kind made people take you for granted, or a moment where setting a simple boundary completely changed how someone treated you? Share your thoughts in the comments because your experience might help someone else understand their own life a little bit better. And if you enjoy exploring the hidden psychological patterns behind everyday behavior, subscribe for more insights like this, because sometimes the smallest shift in awareness can completely change the way we experience our relationships and ourselves.